Hello student, today we have to see well behaved wave functions. Now in previous lecture we studied about the Schrodinger's wave equation, and you know that the Schrodinger's equation is H psi is equals to E psi, where H is Hamiltonian operator and E is the total energy and C psi is a wave function. Now this wave function psi has many solutions, and among these many solutions some of them are imaginary, they are not real. The wave function psi has many solutions and few of them are imaginary and not valid. Only the values of psi are valid and acceptable if the psi follows the following three conditions. Are you getting clear now? Up till now you know that there is a role of a wave function psi which describes the motion as of a electron like particle. This psi has many solutions, and among these many solutions some functions are imaginary and not valid. That's why the values of psi are acceptable or valid if this psi satisfies the three important conditions. Now see, these three important conditions are nothing but the well behaved wave functions conditions. And the first condition is that the wave function psi must be single valued, must be a single valued. इसकी वैल्यू कितनी होना चाहिए? सिंगल वैल्यूड होना चाहिए. And it must be single valued means it must have one and only one value, and it must have only one value at a particular point, at a particular point and at a particular instant, point and at a particular instant. Are you getting clear? What is the first condition of psi or well behaved function psi? Psi must be a single valued, that is it must have only one value at a particular point or at any instant. This is the first condition. Now second condition for wave function psi must be well behaved if the wave function psi and its first derivatives must be a finite and continuous functions. What is the second condition? The psi and its first derivative means d psi by dx, d psi by dy, d psi by dz. Wave function psi and its first derivative must be single valued, must be finite and continuous functions, finite and continuous function. This is the second condition if psi is well behaved function. What is the second condition? Psi and its first derivative must be finite and continuous functions. The value of E, C, you know the Schrodinger's wave equation, d psi by dx square plus d square upon dy, d square psi upon dy square plus d square upon into psi upon dz square plus E minus v into 8 pi square m upon s square into psi, that is equals to 0. Here in this second point, the well behaved functions second point is that the psi and its first derivative means must be finite and continuous, and if we calculate the value of E, this calculated value of E when psi is acceptable, then these are called as the eigenvalues. The value of E are called as eigenvalues and psi are called as, these acceptable psi are called as eigenfunctions. What is it? These are called as the eigenfunctions. Okay. Now in this way, thus the Schrodinger's wave equation E values are called as eigenvalues and acceptable psi values are called as eigenfunction if psi and its first derivatives are finite and continuous functions. Okay, that's why the value obtained by putting such acceptable E are called as eigenvalues and the values of psi are called as eigenfunctions. Third and very important condition is that the eigenfunctions eigen, the eigenfunctions are orthogonal and normalized. Orthogonal and normalized means these eigenfunctions must be orthogonal and normalized, and these functions, the wave function psi is called as normalized if the psi is normalized. The psi is normalized if integration of d psi j or integration of, one can say, this normalized wave function, the integration of psi I star into psi j into d tau, that is equals to 1 if I equals to j. Okay, if I equals to j or if I is equals to j, and this psi is called as orthogonal if the integration of psi I star into psi j into d tau, that is equals to 0 when I is not is equals to j, that is equals to 0 if I is not equals to j. This is the difference or conditions for normalized. If, and these are nothing but psi I star, it's complex, conjugate complex. Are you getting clear? In this way, the functions are well behaved. The wave function psi is called as well behaved if psi e must be single valued, the psi and its first derivatives must be continuous and finite, and the value obtained if psi is acceptable, then the values obtained from that, the E values are called as eigenvalues and psi values are called as eigenfunctions. And the third point is that the eigenfunctions must be orthogonal and normalized. The eigenfunctions are normalized if integration of psi star into psi j, that is into d tau, is equals to 1 if I equals to j, then function is said to be normalized. If integration of psi star into psi j, psi star into psi j into d tau, that is equals to 0 if I is not equals to j. Now in this way, these are the three conditions for well behaved functions. Now next point is physical significance of wave function psi. That is very important point. Now in this physical significance of wave function psi, the important point is that the scientist gave the interpretation born physical significance of psi. Very important. Now this physical significance of psi explained on the basis of two interpretation. Now first interpretation and second interpretation. This is first interpretation, it is second interpretation. Actually, in this physical significance, this second interpretation is very important. No doubt, both are important, but second is very important because scientists born in 1954 for this interpretation of psi got a Nobel Prize. That's why it is very important. Now see first interpretation. Actually this wave function psi has no any significance, no any physical significance. It only represents the amplitude of wave. Actually this psi explains the amplitude of wave, and this psi square represents the density or intensity of wave. What it represents? Density or intensity of wave. Are you getting first point? The wave function psi has no any physical significance. Beside that, this psi, you know, we previously studied here there is x-axis, there is a psi on this axis, okay, and in this way wave is drawn. Here x equals to 0, here x equals to a. This psi only explain or it represents the amplitude of wave, and this then if we take psi square, then psi square represents the intensity, that is the density of wave. This is the first interpretation, and it is under the physical significance of psi. Now second interpretation, that is the second point in the physical significance of wave function psi, is that in 1926 this statistical interpretation statistical interpretation is given by scientist Born, and who got the Nobel Prize for this interpretation. Now what is this interpretation? According to this interpretation, the mod of psi square represents the probability per unit volume of finding the particle at any point, at a given instant. What is the second interpretation? This mod of psi square represents, what it represents? It represents the probability of finding the particle, finding the particle at any point, at any instant, at any instant. Okay, now in this way, this is the end of this physical significance of psi. Now I think you all getting it. Okay, now here see carefully, this physical significance is very important. You must know two interpretation. First interpretation, psi represents the amplitude of wave and psi square represents the density or intensity of the wave. Second interpretation, and very important, this is a statistical interpretation given by Born. According to him, the mod of psi square represents the probability of finding the particle per unit volume at any point, at any instant. Now applications of Schrodinger's wave equation. Last point in this lecture, we come to know about 3 points. Which are these 3 points? What is the first point? First point is well behaved function. Then second point is, what is the second point? Now second point is about the physical significance of psi. Now third point and very important point is applications of Schrodinger's equation, and it is last point. Now first application of Schrodinger's wave equation is, it is used to find the value of total energy for a particle in one dimension box. We studied it. One dimension box means along x-axis. And second application is it is used to find the value of total energy for a particle in three-dimensional box. Very important, three-dimensional box. Okay, one dimension box and three-dimensional box. And last and very important application, it is also used to study the atoms like hydrogen, or hydrogen like this equation can be also used to derive equation for energy of the electron and hydrogen like atom. It is also used for the hydrogen like atom. Okay, we studied about the electron, but this can be applicable, this Schrodinger's wave equation is applicable to hydrogen like atom. Now this is the end of this unit. Now the one more PDF is there, I will send it to our classroom. यहाँ पर आखिरी का जो पॉइंट है, energy of freely moving particle in the one dimension box and three dimension box, ये आपको PDF में भेज दूंगा. ओके, यहाँ पर अपना ये यूनिट दैट इज क्वांटम मैकेनिक्स ख़त्म हुआ. इफ़ एनी डिफ़िकल्टी देन आस्क मी फ्रीली. ओके, इसके पहले जो पॉइंट अपन ने देखे वो भी नहीं समझ में आए तो पूछो.